welcomes Keegan-Michael Key, NBC Tonight.
That's My Jam moves to Monday with a heartfelt tribute you have to see to believe. That's My Jam, Monday, April 17th on NBC.
Who among you is dum-dum-dum-dum? Whose mom didn't like either of them? Who wrestled with passing the third grade? Do you ever wish you could swipe left on people in real life?
At 11.
Now at 11, former President Trump speaking out tonight about all the investigations he faces, hours after facing a judge for the first time in New York City. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams. The former president made the remarks tonight at Mar-a-Lago, ripping into the Justice Department's investigation into January 6th and his classified documents, and the state investigation in Georgia into alleged election meddling. But it's a 34-count indictment in New York that is truly historic. NBC4's Conan Nolan in the newsroom with more on that for us. Conan.
Hello, Colleen. Well, he was fingerprinted, but there were no handcuffs, no mugshot, an apparent accommodation for perhaps the most unique defendant in the history of American jurisprudence.
Back home before a supportive crowd, former President Donald Trump returned to a now familiar litany of grievances. The latest, the less than honorific title of first former president charged with a crime.
And I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. There is no case. There's no case.
President Trump.
Earlier in a Manhattan courtroom, the 45th president of the United States entered a plea of not guilty to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Normally a misdemeanor, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg alleges the actions were taken to conceal a second, more serious crime.
A scheme to buy and suppress negative information to help Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election.
Prosecutors allege the felonies are the result of 3 occasions when they say the former president, through his then attorney Michael Cohen, and with the help of the publisher from the National Enquirer newspaper, paid $130,000 to buy the silence of former adult film star Stormy Daniels, who says she had an affair with Mr. Trump, paid $150,000 to squelch a similar story from former Playboy model Karen McDougal, and a $30,000 payment to a doorman who claimed to have knowledge of a child Mr. Trump had fathered in an extramarital affair. Mr. Trump's attorneys say there is no evidence to support any of the claims.
While everyone is not above the law, no one's below it either. And if this man's name was not Donald J. Trump, there is no scenario we'd all be here today. Please understand that based on these charges.
California Democrats reacting. Burbank's Adam Schiff calling the charges a somber moment in the life of our country, adding nobody is above the law. South L.A. Congresswoman Maxine Waters couldn't contain her glee. Alleluia. Bakersfield Republican Kevin McCarthy, the House Speaker, tweeting outrage. Bragg's weaponization of the federal justice process will be held accountable by Congress. The trial is expected to last well into next year's presidential election. More uncharted territory for a nation divided, manifested no longer just at the ballot box, but now before the bar of justice.
The judge admonished both sides to refrain from rhetoric that could taint the jury pool, which Mr. Trump appeared to violate just hours later in that speech at Mar-a-Lago, claiming the DA was the real criminal and criticizing the judge and the judge's daughter. I'm Conan Nolan, NBC4 News.
Conan, will people change their opinions of Donald Trump because of this? And what impact could it have on the 2024 presidential race?
Well, it's hard to know because we're a long way away from Iowa. However, the next court appearance will be 2 months before the primary process starts. And currently, at the moment, it's helping Donald Trump. Polls indicate his numbers have gone up. He's raising more money. And the other candidates who want to get some airtime, want to distance themselves from Donald Trump and make it about something other than him, they're having a hard time, particularly that governor from Florida, Ron DeSantis. He would love nothing better than for this not to be on the front page of every newspaper in the country.
All right, Conan, thank you for that. Now, reaction to the arraignment of former President Trump and his speech at Mar-a-Lago is pouring in really from both sides tonight. NBC4's Robert Kovacic continues our coverage.
We are for the America First president.
After history was made in a New York City courtroom, a West Coast weigh-in. Felicia is from Van Nuys.
I'm here because I support Donald J. Trump.